So today we're going to be having a look at the Seasonic X Series 650 watt power supply. Now the front of this box is pretty bare, as you may or may not have noticed. It features advanced DC power conversion technology for blah 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 blah, and it is 80 plus gold. That is the real draw for this power supply series right there. So that means power supply efficiency of 87% or more regardless of the load on it. So that's pretty awesome. Actually, you should check out my video that I did recently on my ncix.com channel where we talked about how much money you can save in a year by using an 80 plus gold power supply. So you can see this power supply has a single 12 volt rail at 54 amps and it's capable of outputting almost its entire 650 watt maximum on the 12 volt rail. Let's move around to the back where all of a sudden the box design gets a lot busier. So they show you a little bit of the internal design of the X Series 650 watt. They talk a little bit about their DC connector module with integrated VRM, voltage regulator module. There is your 80 plus gold spec, so that means it's 87, 90, 87% at 20, 50, and 100% operating loads. So as high as 90% in what I would consider a typical gaming system, which would top out around 300 watts under load. Okay, silent fan control. This is a big thing for Seasonic, is they typically have very, very quiet power supplies. So they're using a Sanyo Denki Sanace PWM silent fan. Let me see. This is a fully modular, it looks like. No, it couldn't be. This is a modular power supply. It looks like it might be fully modular. You know what? We're going to have to open it up to find out, so why don't we just do that? It's SLI certified also. I didn't mention that before. And oh, it's not even sealed. Oh, okay, cool. So first we'll find an owner's manual, which re-emphasizes it is 80 plus gold. Okay, it's in 5 different languages. And gives us the basics, tells us thank you for purchasing. I didn't purchase one, but you know, you're welcome anyway. Gives you a little bit of information about the connectors that are connected to it. They don't give you the rail breakdown because it's a single rail power supply on the 12 volts. So you don't have to worry about what you're plugging in where and whether it's going to overload a single rail. Okay, they talk about their 5-year warranty a little bit, are simple and effective. Oh, and they even tell you how to do an RMA if you have a DOA unit. That's really nice of them to include that information. Okay, so then we've got a little fold-out thing here with the Seasonic logo. Very nice box. I really like it. Okay, then we have, wow, this is nice. Go for gold, and just in time for the Olympics, too. X Series, okay, Seasonic. It's got 2 separate little, oh wow, this is 2 separate little baggies which each include modular cables. I'm just gonna dump these out. Yes, there we go. Okay, so this is fully modular. Let's pull the power supply out. We've got a pretty beefy looking power cord, just your standard computer power cord. Alright, then we have a little Seasonic case badge powered by Seasonic and 4 case screws, just in case your case doesn't include the case screws. If that's the case, then... oh, okay. That joke got old really fast. Okay, so it comes in a little velvet bag, which makes it feel very high-end, which it is, by the way. I mean, it's an 80 plus gold 650 watt unit. That should be all you really need to know. And it's kind of got a unique look to it. Okay, the first thing you'll notice is that the accents are in kind of a goldy sort of finish. So you've got your basic specs here, all of your safety certifications, all of your testing, all on this side of the unit. Then at the front you will find the fully modular interface, and I'm gonna go ahead and, oh, this is weird. Look at this. So they've actually got the 24-pin connector consolidated down to only 16 pins. So that means that many of the duplicated cables are probably each plugging into just 1 pin, because it wouldn't matter because it's a single rail power supply. Very interesting. So here we've got our peripheral IDE and SATA connectors all along here. Up here is our PCI Express and CPU 8-pin. Okay, here we have CPU and here we have motherboard. Alright, so we'll figure out what all of that means in a moment. Oh yeah, down here we have the 120mm PWM fan. Okay. Temperature activated fan. Rotates only when required. Right, because a very efficient power supply only needs to turn on the fan when it gets overwhelmed. And since it's a fairly low wattage, very efficient power supply, it's going to mean that you've got far less excess heat than you would have in a less efficient unit. So that fan probably doesn't have to work very hard at all. On the back of the unit, you find your typical honeycomb grill with a power switch and a power input for the power cable. Then on this side you'll find some Seasonic branding with the X Series Go for Gold branding there as well. Wow, I'm really tired today. This is I'm repeating myself a lot, but what are you gonna do? Okay, let's see if I can figure out how to get this open. There we go. So here is the, oh, so they didn't actually consolidate this cable down. What they've done is they've made two separate cables for some reason. Okay, so basically you plug it in like this, and then you plug it in like this. I cannot imagine why they've done it this way, but they did. I'm sure there's a reason for it somewhere, and I don't know what it is. So that's your 24-pin cable, and here, if you want to just shift the angle there. So it's reasonably long. You're not going to have trouble with this power supply having any sort of short cable problems where you can't actually reach the important parts of your PC. All right, let's look at what else we have included for modular cables. So you've got a 4-pin CPU connector. Then you have, oh, this is great. I love these, the ones that are sort of a single brick that you plug in. So this is for PCI Express, and then that goes out to two 6+2-pin PCI Express connectors. So you've got two of those. So you can actually, Seasonic has configured it so you can easily run two high-end graphics cards requiring as many as two 8-pin PCI Express connectors each off of this power supply. So this cable right here, oh no, maybe they haven't. Oh, I see what they've done. So either you're using 4-pin, wow, you know what? This is one of the most confusing modular interfaces I've seen ever. Okay, I get it. So you can either have an 8-pin CPU power connector here, and then you can add a second one, and then you can have only two PCI Express connectors, or you can run a motherboard that requires only a single 8-pin, and then you can have as many as 4 PCI Express connectors. So they're limiting you with the connectors a little bit to make sure that you don't go ahead and overload this with, like, you know, that new EVGA board that has two LGA 1366 sockets and supports like 7 graphics cards. You wouldn't want to be running that on a 650 watt power supply. So they're protecting consumers a little bit that way. All right, so in terms of the other modular cables we've got one with 3 SATA, another one with 3 SATA, another one probably with 3 SATA, I'm guessing. Yeah, there's another one. So you can connect up to, oh no, that one has only 2. So you can connect up to 8 SATA hard drives natively on this power supply. And then I'm gonna go see what I dropped here. Oh, okay, this is an adapter. Oh, okay, so they haven't actually included any floppy connectors on the modular cables by default, but you can use this adapter to get a couple floppy connectors if you want that. Then we have 8 4-pin Molex connectors, so you can plug in as many as 5 altogether of the Molex and SATA connectors. Thank you for checking out my unboxing of the Seasonic X Series 80 Plus Gold power supply.